Focus.
Hello and welcome back to These Blind Eyes 6580. Today's topic is basically for the visually impaired, and it is regarding the Microsoft Disability Help Desk. And just so you know, the difference between this video and my others is I'm not monetizing this video. I don't care about making anything off of it. I want this to get shared, especially amongst the visually impaired, because this is stuff that they are going to need to know and stuff that may come in useful for them if they ever have to call the Microsoft Disability Help Desk. Now, the first time I called was pretty bad. The girl I talked to was very rude and basically indignant at the fact that I couldn't see certain keys on the keyboard, and it's stuff that I normally don't use. So it's not like I should know where this stuff is because I use a computer. And the first experience was very bad. The second experience and the third experience were actually really good. Not going to lie about it. Now, my fourth experience was just a couple days ago, and this is what's real important. I ended up on the phone for 3.5 hours with this jackwagon who gets me downloading the new operating system, Windows 10. And the problem is he doesn't tell me anything before this process starts. Now, the thing that you need to know is once it starts installing, then he decides he wants to get me off the phone because he's supposedly getting in trouble for being on the phone too long. Well, I guess you should have thought about that before you started this download process, because when you download an operating system, it literally took probably 4 hours, maybe 5 hours for the entire process to go through. But here's the thing that they don't tell you. Now, they can take over your computer remotely and do all this stuff for you. That's what makes it so nice. You know, being able to call these people and letting them take care of some things if you can't see where things are on your computer. Makes it real nice. But here's the thing. During this process, at some point, they lose the connection. And unless you have somebody who can see that is there with you, there's a certain process to initiate the Windows 10 that you have to have somebody who can see in order to do it. I don't have enough vision to where I could have done it myself. You know, thankfully, one of my parents was home at this point in time. Not every visually impaired person is going to have this benefit. So, I mean, keep that in mind if they're trying to talk you into this. You have to have somebody who can see there, because your JAWS won't turn on. Whatever reading program you're using doesn't just automatically turn on through this initialization process. And something else that you're going to want to know, because depending on who's working with you and going through this initialization process, they may not read everything that's going on. You are required to give Microsoft consent to track your every single movement. You do not have an option for opting out of this. So my fifth call back to the Disability Help Desk was actually a good one. And I mean, this girl was very nice and pleasant and stuff. You have to go into your browser settings. It's not the Internet Explorer anymore. You can still have that on your computer and use that if that's what you prefer. But they have something now called the Edge that is supposed to be bigger and badder and everything else. Well, it's not set up exactly the same, so trying to go through your settings yourself is a nightmare, because you have to go into your browser settings to turn off all this tracking, so they can't track everything that you're doing, because they want you to, all the information. It doesn't matter what you search for. It doesn't matter what you're into, whether it's cooking, porn, math, or it doesn't matter. Everything gets sent to Microsoft if you do not get these settings turned off. So in regards to the Disability Help Desk, you got to be careful with who you're dealing with on that end. Because I got to the point to where I demanded to talk to the supervisor, and the supervisor didn't care. She flat out didn't care. Now, me personally, at some point in time, when I get the chance, I've been pretty busy over the past couple days because I'm trying to get a job, but that's irrelevant. I'm going to be contacting corporate and telling them about this, because to try to get me in the middle of a download process for a new operating system and just saying, well, that's it, I gotta go. That's not good enough. If you got to keep your call times down, which call centers do, that's one of the requirements as a customer service representative, is keeping your call times down, then say, hey, you have to find somebody who can see to help you do this. This is not something we're allowed to do over the phone. You say that. You don't get somebody started on this process and then 2 hours into it, 3 hours into it, something like that, say, I gotta go. Especially when reading programs do not turn back on until after you finish initializing it, which they can't do because they lose their remote connection to you. You can't do because you can't see the damn screen. So you have to have somebody there with you in order to do this, depending on your eyesight. Mine is bad enough, I had to have somebody help. So be very wary of it. Like I said, I hope all my blind friends and visually impaired friends out there share this video with all of their friends. I went to the Illinois School for the Visually Impaired, but I didn't get to meet a lot of the kids from the other blind schools throughout the country like a lot of my friends did. So I'm hoping this gets shared because they're really pushing this new operating system. But you can find yourself in a pretty tight spot if you don't know what's coming. So I hope all my visually impaired friends out there share this video with their visually impaired friends so they know what to look out for. Because like I said, it's opposite ends. I have not had anybody in the middle as far as the CSR when I've been calling these people. It's either people that are complete assholes or it's people that are just the most amazing people that you'd want to deal with. That are, oh, no problem. I don't care how long it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to help you, But the supervisor, they don't care. The 2 times I've had to speak with the supervisor, it's always been the same woman. So I'm going to be contacting the corporate office in regards to this because I think it's unacceptable. So once again, I hope all of my visually impaired friends, please share this with your friends who are also visually impaired so the word gets out on this so people are careful. If you have any specific questions regarding this, as far as Windows 10 so far, if anybody's had to deal with 8.1, this is so much better than 8.1. Windows 10 is. It's just a nightmare dealing with these people to get it set up for you. So if you have any specific questions for me, don't hesitate to send me an email directly. It's littlemb6580@gmail.com. That's LITTLE, M as in Mike, B as in Bravo, 6580@gmail.com. So once again, please share this, and until next time.